In a few moments, the class of 2025, faculty and staff, and distinguished guests will enter the arena. Please take your seats and enjoy the live feed of the processional of the graduates. friends, please stand to honor the Utah Valley University Class of 2025, led by the Payson High School Pipe Band, Faculty Senate President, and Deans of our academic schools and colleges. welcome members of Utah Valley University's faculty and staff. Please welcome the platform guests at Utah Valley University's 83rd Commencement Ceremony. fellow Wolverines, please give a warm welcome to your Utah Valley University Faculty Senate President, Dr. Violetta Fedechko.
Here now, in the presence of candidates for academic recognition, faculty, staff, administration, alumni, trustees, distinguished guests, and friends. Utah Valley University's 83rd commencement ceremony is hereby in session. Please remain standing for the posting of the colors by the UVU Army ROTC Color Guard and the National Anthem, performed by Hannah Bayak, graduating summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Music Education from the School of the Arts. Hannah will be accompanied by Kate Gabidis, who is studying commercial music at Utah Valley University.
Forward, halt. What time? March. Group, halt. Present, halt.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Forward, halt. Left, what time? March.
Please welcome Vice President of Institutional Advancement at Utah Valley University, Dr. Kyle Reyes.
Thank you, and please be seated. All right. Good evening, class of 2025. It is a beautiful day to be a Wolverine. Welcome to this milestone event where we are all here to celebrate you. Welcome friends, parents, partners, grandparents, siblings, spouses, and children of our graduates who are here tonight in person or joining us online to support and celebrate this momentous occasion. Now I have to ask for your response, and I'm talking to our guests here. Let us hear how proud you are of your graduate tonight. Let's hear it. Dang, y'all, that was nice. We gratefully acknowledge our distinguished guests seated on the platform and extend a warm welcome to our honorary degree recipients, Roger Connors, Dambisa Moyo Smith, and Crystal Magallet, who will be our commencement speaker this evening. Let's give them a round of applause. Jeffrey Landward, Commissioner of the Utah System of Higher Education, and our wonderful Board of Trustees, Chair Rick Nielsen, First Vice Chair Scott Smith, Second Vice Chair Jeanette Bennett, as well as Paul Thompson, Andrea Clark, Kara North, Noel Vallejo, and Student Body President Mimi Pepper Barney. Tonight, we acknowledge the absence of our dear President, Astrid Tuminez, whose husband, Jeff Tolk, recently passed. Our hearts have been and continue to be with you, President Tuminez, as she watches tonight. This is her favorite day of the year because, as she often reminds us, this is why we do what we do. And graduates, I just have to tell you, you really are the reason why we do what we do. I want to thank Jim Mortensen, Acting President and Vice President of Finance and Auxiliary Services, for representing the President this evening. We also acknowledge other members of President's Council, including Faculty Senate President Violeta Fedechko and Nikki Scott, President of the Professional Association of Campus Employees, as well as the deans of our academic schools and colleges and our Dean of Students. Finally, I would like to recognize our dedicated faculty and staff, and I want to thank you. Our students who are graduating would not be here without you. While your knowledge and expertise in your fields are certainly notable, it is the exceptional care that you extend that sets a UVU education apart from any other. Graduates, will you join me in recognizing your wonderful faculty and staff? Thousands of UVU faculty and staff consistently provide our students and now the newest members of our workforce with exceptional learning opportunities and the support to succeed in both work and life. And again, thank you all for being here. Tonight, we honor the class of 2025, the largest graduating class in UVU history. You can walk around like you own that. You're good. More than 12,000 students have earned over 14,000 degrees, and certificates. This class will not only be making a significant impact in our community and contribute to our thriving Utah economy and beyond, but they will be an absolute force for good in the world. Our graduates who are here tonight are from all walks of life. They come from 28 of Utah's 29 counties, 47 states and territories, and 53 countries. Our graduates range as old as 16 years old and as young as 71. Let's give it up. I love it. 45% of our graduates are 25 years and older, and more than a third are first in their families to graduate from college. Graduates, I hope you know I am honored and proud to share this day with you. In my nearly 22 years of working at UVU, I continue to be inspired by you, our students. Your work ethic, brilliance, creativity, and resilience are evident in local, national, and global competitions won, in the internships you have fulfilled, in the research you have conducted, in the projects and initiatives you have led, and in the day-to-day demonstration to do all of this amidst a variety of challenges, including those days when it was just difficult to show up for class. I get it. Your juggling of commitments to school, work, family, community, and faith is no small thing. And graduates, hear me when I say this: no one can ever take away from you that you are a college graduate. And I know you didn't get here by yourself. Graduates, please pause in your heart and mind and think about those who've helped you get here. Will you do me a favor? Graduates, will you please stand and take a moment to share your gratitude with those who are here and not here tonight who have supported you along your educational journeys? Let's hear it from our graduates. Thank you, graduates. We will now watch a recorded message from Governor Spencer Cox, who was unable to be with us tonight, but sends his well wishes to all of you. Following the video, Student Body President Mimi Pepper Barney will address us. She is graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Art and Design from the School of the Arts. We will then be pleased to hear from our class of 2025 student speaker, Francisco Calderon Mora. I'm here for that. I like it. Francisco is graduating summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Family Science from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Thank you.
President Tuminez, faculty, staff, distinguished graduates, family, and friends, congratulations to the Utah Valley University Class of 2025. I applaud your achievements and am honored to celebrate this milestone with you. You have been armed with an outstanding education. I encourage you to continue to cultivate your talents and apply what you have learned for the betterment of your communities. The diplomas you have earned mark an ending, but more importantly, they represent a new and exciting beginning. As students, you have proven yourselves as capable, determined, and passionate members of our Utah community. I'm excited to be a witness to what you will become, the careers you will pursue, and the dreams you will achieve. I also want to acknowledge the team of supporters who have helped you get here, your professors, instructors, and advisors, the staff and leadership of UVU who have created an environment where you could thrive, and donors who have helped to fund so many programs and opportunities, and finally, of course, your family and friends who have offered encouragement and support at every turn. On behalf of the state of Utah, I salute you, and I am cheering for you as you embark on this next era of your life. Once again, congratulations to the UVU class of 2025.
Please welcome Student Body President Mimi Pepper Barney.
Oh, this is kind of scary. Good evening, everyone, to our families, friends, faculty, mentors, and most importantly, Utah Valley University's graduating class. You guys can all clap. My name is Mimi Barney, and I have had the privilege of being your student body president over the course of this year, and today is the day. We have waited, worked, and dreamed of this moment for years. And now we're together in caps and gowns, stepping into a new chapter of life. I want to acknowledge that none of our journeys were easy, and no two looked the same. That was one of the things I love most about this university. Its incredible diversity, not just in background, but in experience. We each come from every walk of life. Some of us came straight from high school. Some of us took a few detours, military service, parenthood, careers, or second chances. Some of us didn't even think we would make it here. I'd like to speak directly to those students, to the ones who almost gave up. You may have been working 2 or 3 jobs just to afford your tuition. Maybe you sat alone in your car or apartment between classes holding back tears, wondering if you were smart enough and to keep going, or strong enough to keep going. Maybe someone told you that this wasn't for you and that college was for other people, but you didn't listen. You showed up, you kept showing up, and you never gave up. And that's what matters. This, my beautiful friends, is the UVU story. Not perfection, but persistence. Not privilege, but perseverance. Not a straight path, but a determined one. Looking around this arena, I see one thing we all have in common. It's resilience. We are a campus made up of dreamers and doers. To the single parents who studied as their kids slept, to the international students and adult and non-traditional students and adult learner students who thought college wasn't for them, to the first generation students who took college head on with no previous blueprint, and to the students who were told that they wouldn't make it past high school. Please look at yourselves now. Take a moment to be proud of who you are and who you have become. Your journey may have not been easy, but you never took the easy way out. And this is what real resilience looks like. And it lives in every single one of you. And it's what makes UVU such an incredible place to be. This university gave us more than just a degree. It gave us all hope. It gave us professors who saw our potential and believed in our dreams, even when we didn't see it in ourselves. It gave us a place to pursue our passions and turn them into a reality. At its core, this university is focused on our dreams and successes, and it embodies its theme that there is a place for you here. The truth is, no matter where you come from or what your background looks like, you can become something greater. You have to believe that your story matters and then be brave enough to go live it. As we step out into new careers, new adventures, new responsibilities, and yes, a little uncertainty, I want you each to remember this. The world doesn't just need smarter people, it needs kinder ones. It needs people who recognize the needs of others and look for ways to create change. It needs people who won't forget where they came from, even as they are reaching for something higher. It needs Wolverines. So be bold and fearless, but also soft and humble. When you see someone just beginning their journey, be the one who cheers them on, who reminds them to keep going, keep growing, and never stop becoming. Now, we didn't get here alone. Some of your parents sacrificed a great deal for you to attend school. Perhaps you had a mentor who believed in you. Some of us are walking away with lifelong friends who helped us keep going during the hard times. And some of us met strangers at this university who became our family. Let's please celebrate the incredible people in this crowd and the classmates behind us. There are so many people we couldn't have done this without. While perhaps unconventional, I'd like all of you to please stand with me, wave, cheer, clap, take a moment, look around, see if you can find your parents, friends, and people. So please stand and let them know how much this means to you. Thank you. Now, we are not just graduates. We are resilient dreamers. We are future doctors, artists, builders, designers, engineers, counselors, and entrepreneurs. We are living proof that there is no obstacle too big and no dream too far. We are hope in motion, and we are just getting started. So go out and live fully with passion, not just plans. Love deeply, not those who are easy to love, but those who need it most. Serve freely, because real success is measured in what you give and not just what you gain. Dream wildly, because the world needs your boldness, your heart, and your voice. And always, always keep becoming. Because if there is one thing that UVU has taught us, it's that no matter where you start, greatness is possible when you just keep going. Thank you, and congratulations.
Please welcome Francisco Calderon Mora to address our graduates.
Oh, my goodness. Hello, my friends. Good evening, class of 2025. It is a pleasure and a privilege and honor to be here with you tonight. My name is Francisco Calderon Mora. I'm graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in Family Science, a minor in psychology, and a certificate in leadership for personal and social impact. I cannot feel my legs right now. But as I stand here today, reflecting on what these past years in college have meant, I keep coming back to one lesson. One that, as a family science student, feels like the most valuable thing I've learned here at UVU. Funnily enough, it's not a lesson that's found in a textbook, a lecture, or even a final exam. And I think we've come far enough in our academic journey not to make you read through a syllabus to find out either. No, this lesson is this. The most important thing in life is the friends we make along the way. Now, I know that might sound a little sappy, and I can already hear some of you in the back groaning and thinking, here we go. But I hope you'll take the time to hear out a tired but excited family science student just for a moment. I've spent the last few years studying relationships, human development, and what it takes to build strong families and communities, individuals too. And at a time when the value of higher education is being thoroughly discussed and debated from seemingly every direction, I figured I should use this wonderful opportunity of a speech to put my degree to use at least once, right? Now, many of us came to UVU with the goal to get a degree, launch a career, make our families proud, make ourselves proud even. And we worked hard. We did. We pulled all-nighters, balanced school with work and life, maybe even a little existential dread. But let me ask you this. When you look back on your time here, what do you remember most, my friends? What will you carry with you as you move forward? I'm willing to bet it's not just the final grades or the polished resumes, although I do love me some good resume formatting. No, I'm willing to bet it will be the people. The late-night study sessions that turn into therapy sessions. The professors who challenged you, but also saw your potential. The person who sat next to you in that general ed class about a subject you'll never think about again, and who somehow became a lifelong friend. While studying marriage and relationships during my freshman year, I came across a graduation speech by someone named Kyle Martin that stuck with me ever since. He was named valedictorian of his university. And he described it as feeling absolutely euphoric, not unlike right now. Like all the sacrifices he'd made toward achieving that honor had finally paid off. It'd be the LinkedIn post of a lifetime, right? At least, that's how it felt for about 15 seconds. Because then what came Then came what he called the 16th second. The moment when he sat down and thought to himself, that's it. You see, the title didn't feel as fulfilling as he'd imagined because, as he put it, quote, the cost of that accomplishment was the time and relationships I sacrificed along the way. He went on to say, working hard is good. It is in fact biblical, but it should not be done for the sole purpose of a goal's sake or at the expense of relationships with others. And here's why. Relationships are where we get to influence, impact, and change people's lives. Your life cannot be meaningful without them. To give you a bit of a cheat sheet in family science, there's a lot of emphasis placed on the power of small moments, on the idea that life's true richness isn't just about the big milestones or achievements, but the seemingly small, everyday moments that make up our existence. The minutia of every day, right? I mean, think about it. You've probably spent more time having quick conversations with classmates than you have taking final exams. And I'd argue that those small moments, the laughs, the encouragements, even the shared stress, might be what end up mattering most as we move on to this next chapter of our lives. And I think that idea echoes what UVU's taught and given us, whether we know it or not, what a place for you really means. This institution didn't just offer us an education, it offered us community and belonging, a place to be seen, a place where authentic, messy, beautiful relationships could grow. So, as we walk across this stage in the next few days and step into whatever comes next, I hope we carry this lesson with us. Success is better when shared. Life is richer when rooted in connection, and no goal is worth achieving if it costs you the people who matter most. So yes, let's chase our dreams. Let's build careers, travel, start families, do exciting things. But let's also text our friends back. You know who you are. Call our grandparents. Apologize when we mess up. Watch silly movies about Minecraft together. Let's stay connected in a world that often tells us to do otherwise, because those connections are the things that last. It might just be the family science student in me, but I really believe that when the celebrations end, the applause fades, and we look back on this chapter of our lives, it won't just be the awards, the job offers, or even the speeches we gave that will define us. It'll be the people, the memories, and the impacts we had on each other. So, when your 16th second comes, I hope you pause and feel peace, not regret. I hope you look around and see not just success, but connection. Thank you to the Family Science Department and Deborah Merritt, to UVUSA and the Student Success Center, to my wonderful Elizabeth, to my family and friends, to my dear mom and dad. Mamá, papá, los amo para siempre. Thank you, UVU. And congratulations, class of 2025. Go get 'em, Wolverines.
Please welcome the chair of Utah Valley University's Board of Trustees, Rick Nielsen.
Thanks so much to Mimi and Francisco. I love UVU students. And they are in the embodiment of all that we are committed to as we come to serve and work alongside those who serve you. Congratulations to all of our graduates. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is our pleasure to honor the individuals receiving an honorary degree tonight and there is no better way to introduce them than with the help of our graduates.
Each year at commencement, Utah Valley University proudly honors exceptional leaders whose contributions to scholarship, leadership, and public service have impacted our society.
To recognize their significant achievements, UVU confers an honorary doctoral degree, the highest honor awarded by the university.
Tonight, we celebrate 3 individuals receiving this distinction for their dedication and service.
Our first honorary degree recipient is Roger Craig Connors, a global leader in organizational culture and performance management with more than 30 years of experience. A pioneer in the performance improvement space, Mr. Connors is a 4-time New York Times and Wall Street Journal best-selling author. He has transformed organizational cultures, earning recognition as a top organizational culture professional by global gurus. He is the co-founder and former CEO of Culture Partners, which has trained millions of people in over 50 countries. Under his leadership, the company was named the top e-learning platform in the world in 2015 and earned a spot on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing privately held companies.
One of the ways that I have seen my dad's work change people's lives is I've seen him help people go from focusing on what they can't control to focusing on what they can control. So I've seen his work empower lives.
He's taught me so much about how I lead and how I think about leading and driving organizational change to truly make an impact on our company. So for that, I am forever grateful.
Outside of his professional achievements, Mr. Connors is an active supporter of UVU, serving as a graduate faculty professional member in the Woodbury School of Business. He and his wife Gwen are members of the President's Evergreen Society for their generous support of UVU's mission. He is committed to giving back to the community through service, participating in humanitarian and community service, serving as a mission leader for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Washington, and most recently, serving an 18th-month service mission in 20 countries in Central and Southern Africa. This is the advice he has for the class of 2025.
There's no progress without commitment. There's just no easy way to make a difference, whatever it might be. You have to commit yourself and go all in. And when you do commit, you probably feel like those commitments tie you down, which I think is true. But those are conscious trade-offs you have to be willing to make to get anything meaningful done. If you're willing to commit, you can really accomplish anything.
Thank you for joining in that congratulations of Roger Connors. We now invite he, Provost Vaught, and Stephen Clark, Dean of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, to come to the podium for the hooding ceremony. Let's applaud, please. On behalf of Utah Valley University, I am pleased to confer upon you the Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters.
Our second honorary degree recipient is Dr. Dambisa Moyo, an internationally acclaimed economist, writer, and political leader. In the United Kingdom, she holds the title of Baroness of Knightsbridge and serves as a member of the House of Lords. Her expertise is highly sought after by major organizations, illustrated by her engagement on the boards of the National Geographic Society, the Chevron Corporation, and the Trilateral Commission. Baroness Moyo is a renowned leader in her industry, frequently lecturing at global forums like the World Economic Forum and authoring 5 award-winning books, earning recognition on the New York Times bestseller list. As a columnist, commentator, and public speaker, she has also written for the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and Time magazine. Her TED Talks have garnered over 3 million views. Baroness Moyo has shared her wealth of knowledge and insights on the global economy and economic development with our very own Wolverines as a guest speaker for the UVU Presidential Lecture Series. In addition to her political and literary accomplishments, Baroness Moyo has worked for the World Bank and Goldman Sachs, advising developing countries on international bonds and leading economic research and strategy for sub-Saharan Africa. Her groundbreaking contributions to economic thought leadership have earned her a place on the Time magazine's list of 100 most influential people in the world and positioned her as one of the most respected voices in her field. This is her advice for the class of 2025. Remember, 1. There are no shortcuts. 2. You can only succeed by working with others. And 3. No does not mean never, it just means not now.
Please welcome Scott Smith, first chair of Utah Valley University's Board of Trustees.
Good evening, graduates. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Dambisa Moyo Smith as she comes to the podium with Provost Slott and Dean Clark to receive the Honorary Doctorate of Letters. On behalf of Utah Valley University, I am pleased to confer upon you the Honorary Doctorate of Letters.
It is Utah Valley University's privilege to honor tonight's commencement speaker and final honorary degree recipient, Crystal Magallet, CEO and chair of FJ Management Incorporated. Ms. Magallet skillfully leads a diversified family business portfolio that includes Big West Oil, Maverick, Tab Bank, and Crystal Inn, having transformed the lives of countless individuals and families by providing meaningful employment opportunities. Ms. Magallet continues to shape the future of her industries, earning national recognition as the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year for Family Business in 2018.
Our core values are mutual respect, excellence, and integrity, and that's how I've seen her operate every day, day in and day out.
Crystal's made a meaningful impact on a lot of lives. They've created a recent large foundation. She has a key priority for her is education, a lot of college scholarships and contributions to schools. She's contributed to healthcare and has a really big emphasis on affordable housing for people in the state of Utah. So her reach is pretty broad.
Ms. Magalet's commitment to giving back is evident in her work with several prestigious boards and committees, including Live Communities, Zions Bank, Savage Services, Intermountain Health, and the Utah 2034 Olympic and Paralympic Games Organizing Committee. She is also a dedicated philanthropist, overseeing charitable giving through the Call Foundation and Call to Action Foundation, and raising over $55 million to support affordable housing, education, and scholarships. Her passion for supporting the next generation is further evident by her role as the co-chair of the Intermountain Health Primary Promise campaign, which aims to raise $600 million to build the nation's model health systems for children. She balances these roles, all while being a mother of 4. This is her advice for the class of 2025.
I believe one of the most important things a person can possess is self-confidence. Without self-confidence, you never dare do things. And you also, if you fell, you aren't in the same place to pick yourself back up and move on. Self-confidence is so important to all you do in life. So if I could give anybody advice, it would be to please build your self-confidence and believe in yourself, and you will be successful if you do that.
Please welcome Jeanette Bennett, second chair of Utah Valley University's Board of Trustees.
Congratulations, graduates, on your achievements. As you may have learned, our commencement speaker this evening is a successful business leader, philanthropist, and mother who is an inspiring role model for all of us. Crystal Magallet is receiving an honorary doctorate of business. Following her hooding ceremony, it will be our pleasure to hear from Crystal. Please join me in congratulating Crystal as she, Acting President Jim Mortensen, and Bob Allen, Dean of the Woodbury School of Business, come to the podium for the hooding ceremony. On behalf of Utah Valley University, I am pleased to confer upon you the Honorary Doctorate of Business.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, President Tuminez, Acting President Jim Mortensen, and members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and all those who've made today possible. I am truly honored and humbled to receive this degree and to join you in celebrating such a significant milestone for all of us. I am very inspired what I see here tonight by all of the students and the makeup of what brings you here, by all of those who've spoken before me. I've had an amazing night already, and all I can hope is that as we go forward and I can inspire you in some way. So here goes. This day is a day of well-earned pride for you, your families, and the communities that surround UVU. Whether you arrived here on a straightforward path or one full of unexpected detours, you made it. And that deserves our full attention and celebration. As you saw in the video, I believe self-confidence is crucial to being successful. But tonight, I want to talk about being first and about resilience. I'll do that by sharing a few stories from my own experience. My parents married when my mother was 18, just 2 weeks out of high school. My dad was 20 and a college dropout. They were both entrepreneurs. My father, Jay Call, founded Flying J, a petroleum company based in Utah that grew to become one of the largest private companies in the country. My mother, Teddy, owned a chain of diet center franchises that she built into a thriving business, achieving financial independence, a milestone that many women of her generation were rarely encouraged or expected to pursue. I grew up watching both of them take risks, make hard choices, and adapt when things didn't go as planned. They were always optimistic and hardworking. I wanted to be successful like them. They stressed that a college education was important, even though they had not received one themselves. My parents were great, but not meant to be together. I experienced disruption early. When I was 10 years old, my parents divorced. We moved, I changed schools. My sense of stability was shaken. I didn't have language for it at the time, but I was learning resilience, how to keep going, one small step at a time. I learned that starting over teaches you a lot and makes you better equipped to face the next challenge. When it came time for college, there was no question that I would go. My parents wanted me to be the first in our family to earn a college degree. Be the first was your student government motto this year. It carries a powerful message and invites everyone to be the first to say hello, or the first to help, or the first to lead. But tonight, let's recognize those who've lived that motto in a particularly powerful way. If you are the first to graduate in your family tonight, will you please stand? Thank you. To each of you standing, you are trailblazers. You've redefined what's possible for your families for generations to come. Education doesn't just change your life, it changes the life of those who follow you. You may take your seats now, and thank you for allowing us to recognize you. When I completed my college degree and later my MBA, I had no idea how much of a difference it would make in my life or the impact it would have on others. After graduate school, I got married and moved back to Utah and started Crystal Inn Hotels. I was building a business and raising a young family, juggling the same demands many of you will face or face today. Over time, my focus shifted more toward my children, but my education stayed with me. I wasn't thinking about how I might use it one day in a crisis, but it shaped how I approached problems, how I made decisions, and how I stayed steady in uncertain moments. I just didn't realize how important that would become until everything changed. In December of 2008, I was at home with 4 young kids getting ready for Christmas when I got a call that Flying J, the company my father had built, was on the brink of bankruptcy. The Great Recession had hit hard, and we were straddled with billions in debt. I had never run the company. I had only been a board member. A few years earlier, my father had passed away in an airplane crash, and I believed that if he were alive, he would want to make sure our creditors were paid back and many employees as possible could keep their jobs. I didn't want the legacy that he had created to fall apart, and I felt a deep responsibility to do all I could. But in that moment, I had a choice. I could use my education, step in and try to help, or I could continue my life as it was and see what happened. I knew there was really no choice. I had to help anywhere I could. Within a few weeks, I became CEO. Without my degrees, I wouldn't have had the confidence or the respect from others to take on that role. It wasn't an easy choice, and it certainly wasn't a clear one. I had to navigate unfamiliar terrain, financial restructuring, and legal proceedings, and thousands of employees were counting on us to get it right. There wasn't time to wait until I felt perfectly ready. I had to move forward anyway. There wasn't time to dwell on fear or uncertainty. We had to act. Some days I got it right, some days I didn't. But each morning, I got up and kept going. Through restructuring, perseverance, and mostly a team of people who believed in the mission, we emerged from bankruptcy. We paid back nearly $2 billion and laid the foundation for what is now FJ Management. Today, thank you. Thank you. Today, the FJ Management family of companies includes a diverse group of businesses spanning transportation, energy, hospitality, and more. We operate across the country through well-known brands like Maverick, Big West Oil, and Tab Bank, along with a growing portfolio of strategic investments. Our mission, building value to last, is grounded in excellence, integrity, and mutual respect. These values guide everything I do every day. My 4 kids have grown up, and I am proud to say they all graduated from college and are living independent lives. Let's give them a round. They're right over here, a couple of them. I still, like many of you, often wonder, where will the rest of my life take me? Even at 60, I continue to learn every day. Resilience has been a crucial part of my journey, especially in the face of big obstacles, and each generation faces its own. As you graduate today, you too face challenges. Wages for young workers have largely stagnated when adjusted for inflation. Homeownership is further out of reach for first-time buyers than it's been in decades. Trust in public institutions has declined, and mental health challenges, especially among young adults, are more visible and urgent than ever. These are real concerns, and they can make it feel like the future is less promising than the past. In fact, many in your generation and mine worry that they'll end up worse off than their parents. That fear is understandable, but it's not the whole story. Because alongside these challenges, we've seen real, measurable progress. Today, more than 1/3 of American adults hold a college degree, compared to just 9% 50 years ago. More women and people of color are in leadership roles than ever before. Survival rates for cancer are up, global child mortality is down, and technological innovations is improving lives across healthcare, transportation, education, and many other ways. This progress hasn't been perfect or linear, but that's what resilience is. The ability to keep moving forward, even when things don't go according to plan, to work towards something greater. When it's hard, that it's exactly what you've done before here you've done by being here today. And it's exactly what you've done by being here today. And let's not forget that new doors continue to open, many of them right here at UVU, where applied learning and real-world impact are part of the university's DNA. Entire industries have emerged in the last 2 decades, from cybersecurity to AI ethics to digital health and user experience design. These fields didn't even exist when many of your professors were in college, and now they're shaping how we live, work, and solve global problems. Education doesn't just plug you into the world as it is, it prepares you to imagine what it could be. And the benefits of that preparation are real. Studies show that college graduates are more likely to vote, volunteer in their communities, and report higher levels of civic engagement. They're also more likely to have strong social support networks, greater life satisfaction, and more opportunities for continued personal and professional growth. None of this is to say that higher education is the only path forward, but it is a powerful one. It's not just about upward mobility, it's about equipping people with the tools to think critically, solve problems, and influence the systems they're a part of. It's about shaping futures, not just securing jobs. Your presence here is proof that momentum exists. You've earned your place in a complex, imperfect, and still promising world, and I believe you'll help it, shape it for the better. Congratulations, class of 2025. You've earned this moment. Now go forward, be confident, be resilient, and be the first. Thank you.
Please welcome UVU Alumni Association President and Board of Trustee, Kara North.
Thank you. We could not have had a more perfect message for the class of 2025. Let's have another round of applause for our speaker, Crystal Magallet. Since 1941, UVU has established a proud legacy of more than 100,000 alumni who have become the next thinkers, leaders, scientists, entrepreneurs, writers, and teachers. With 74% of our alumni still living in Utah 10 years after graduating, it is sufficient to say that you are our future. From a Wolverine of the class of 2007 to the graduating class of 2025, I now invite you to be a part of the tradition of taking the Alumni Pledge, just as all graduates have before you. For those who are able, graduates, please stand. As president of the Utah Valley University Alumni Association, I'm a crier, sorry. I charge you, the graduating class of 2025, to go forth as people who live and exemplify the UVU core values of exceptional care, exceptional accountability, and exceptional results. Please signify your willingness to uphold these values by responding, "I will," to the following question. Graduates, will you accept the responsibility to live and exemplify the UVU core values? Therefore, as president of Utah Valley University's Alumni Association, I officially declare that you, having received your degrees through the proper authority of this institution, you join the ranks of proud UVU alumni. You will forever be a Wolverine. Thank you. Please be seated.
Please welcome Provost Vaught and Acting President Jim Mortensen to the podium.
Anyone here excited tonight? Well, good evening, everyone. We are so thrilled to be here. We have reached this magical moment, more magical than Disney. One of the best times and one of my favorite times of the academic year. There are so many hard things that we do at this university. Our faculty who are sitting here at the sides, working with our students, our staff, all of the people who do everything to make this experience possible for you. And tonight we get to celebrate not only the accomplishments of our graduates, but the commitment of this university to make this happen for you. Now we will take tonight the many challenges, the many sleepless nights, the fears, even the failures that you've experienced, and we're going to mix them with excitement, with joy, and the support that you have received from your family, from your friends, and from your professors. We're going to shake them up a little bit and transform them into a college degree, if you want one. But before you can graduate, they didn't tell you this, there is one final test that you're going to have to take. And this is important. You must follow just a few simple instructions. And if you pass this final test, we will confer upon you a college degree. And if you fail, there's another ceremony next year about the same time. We'll just now, graduates, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and take a moment to ask yourself, what degree have I been working on for the past 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, possibly 8 years? And to help, I will make this final exam multiple choice. So here are your options. You're either being awarded a certificate, a diploma, or an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, or a master's degree. So here's the test, will all the candidates for a certificate, diploma, or associate's degree please rise? Will all of our students completing a bachelor's degree please rise? And now will all of our graduates completing a master's or any other graduate degree please rise? Everyone should now be standing. That's pretty much the degrees we offer. Nope, there's a little row there. I'm not sure we missed. Acting President Mortensen, on behalf of the recommendations of the university faculty, I present the candidates for the certificates, diplomas, associates, bachelor's, and master's degrees. And for those candidates who have completed all the requirements, I now recommend that the appropriate certificates, diplomas, and associates, bachelor's, and master's degrees be awarded to them.
Oh, my friends, you are such a gift. We are so proud of you. We love you. Are you ready for us to make this official? Members of the class of 2025, Through your successful efforts as certified by the recommendation of our provost and university faculty, you are now ready to receive your degree, certificate, or diploma from Utah Valley University. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Utah Board of Higher Education, I hereby confer upon you the appropriate degree, diploma, or certificate which entitles you to all the rights, privileges, and honors for which you have been recommended. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left side to indicate your graduation from Utah Valley University. I invite you graduates to take your seats. You now join the ranks of UVU alumni who since 1941 have used their knowledge and talents to continue to make the world a better place. Continue this tradition of embodying our core values of exceptional care, exceptional accountability, and exceptional results. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Attending Utah Valley University's 83rd Annual Commencement Ceremony. Please remain seated as our platform guests begin the recession. We invite our graduates to join the recession.
Wow.